Well, hello and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I welcome you. And if you are a returning viewer, subscriber, friend, I welcome you back. Today I wanted to take you on a special treat. I wanted to show you and explain to you some of the history of what was once the world's largest shopping mall, West Edmonton Mall. So come along with me. We're going to take a little walking tour in the mall, and I will show you some of the sights and sounds of the mall. Also, I want to show you what is happening here right by the mall, just south of the parking lot here. It is a huge light rail transit expansion. As you can see, that is the equipment that puts the pieces in place. It is a huge undertaking, multi-year undertaking. And this is the overhead above ground light rail transit, or LRT, expansion. Let me just move the camera over a little bit. And it goes on for several kilometers. So this is an interesting part and extension in this area here. But we're going to go inside now, and I will start our tour. Here is actually a part of the mall where we're going to go. Maybe we'll start over there, but that is the hotel. In that area over there, if you can see behind that part sticking up, and we will maybe start over there, but wanted to continue over here a little bit and show you some of this here as well. Like I say, it is quite incredible what they can do nowadays. Oh, also, if you can see off in the distance, those pillars, that is how far, and it will continue on to the light rail transit. When I moved to this city back in 1985, there was maybe 500,000 people here. Now there's well over 1 million. And it's expected that there will be another 1 million in the next 25 years or so. So Edmonton is growing. And before we go inside, this is just some of the buildings that are on the outside here. Marshall's. It goes on to show you some of the other areas. We're going to touch on a lot of this as well. We're going to touch on the parking. Can you guess, before I get to it, how many parking spaces there are in this mall? There's the water park over there. We'll take a look at that as well. We're heading over there. This is the Fantasyland Hotel, which we are going to maybe start in this area here, but we are going to go inside first. So we are going to start our little tour here in West Edmonton Mall, and that is the hotel of the mall, the Fantasyland Hotel, and we will touch on a few things about that as well. I actually used to work there in 1986 when I was on strike at the meatpacking plant I used to work at, and I worked here in the mall at the hotel doing some work in maintenance. So that was quite exciting, and I can tell you stories about that. But that would be another video because it was quite a long situation there, a long stint. But it has changed a lot over the years. As I mentioned, that was 1986, but now it is a beautiful entranceway here. So this is inside So we are going to go for a walk, and I will touch on a few fun facts about West Edmonton Mall. I actually wrote down a few little notes here that I want to touch on before we get really started. West Edmonton Mall opened in 1981 here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and is owned by the Iranian-Canadian Dramesian family. In the 1950s, the family moved from Tehran, Iran, to Montreal, Canada. In 1964, the family moved to Edmonton, hoping to capitalize on Alberta's booming oil economy at the time. In 1967, they incorporated as Germaz Developments, which in 1973 became 555 Corporation. The family acquired vast quantities of farmland surrounding Edmonton in the hope of finding oil, but their search proved unsuccessful. But now remember, they own a lot of farmland. However, in the 1970s, the province set out to build a greenbelt around Edmonton, and the Dramesians made a fortune selling farmland to the government. So they did okay for themselves. Now, an interesting note, People's Trust Company, operating as People's Group, is a Canadian financial services company based in Vancouver and is a subsidiary of 555 Corporation. And it holds your money if you have fintech cards like Coho or several others. So there's a lot of interesting developments and facts about the owners of West Edmonton Mall. But we're going to continue with this here as we go. I'll give you some more fun facts. What do you think of that? That is a big ship. There's the pirates. And we will touch on some of this as well as we continue our tour. So I wanted to touch on a few other things here. Now, the family also owns Mall of America in Minnesota. Now, West Edmonton Mall was the largest mall in the world until 2004. Here's another fun fact. If West Edmonton Mall were a country, it wouldn't be the smallest. It occupies 5.3 million square feet compared to the Vatican City's 4.7 million square feet. So this mall is actually larger than Vatican City, which is a country within a country. Now, speaking of the parking lot and the parking stalls, how many parking stalls do you think there are in this whole mall? West Edmonton Mall has the world's largest parking lot with 20,000 plus parking spaces and 10,000 plus overflow parking spaces. Yet it can still be hard to find a space to park at peak shopping times. Often described as a small city of its own, the mall's addresses cover several postal codes. So this is a big spot, that's for sure. There are over 800 shops and service providers here in West Edmonton Mall. And the mall employs over 24,000 people. It's amazing. And I was an employee myself here at one time. But let's touch on the ship behind me here. We're going to touch on that, since it is a full-size replica of Christopher Columbus's Santa Maria. So let's take a look again. Yeah, it's a big ship, and I'll get another view of it after from a little bit farther away, so you can actually see just how big it is. But quite often there are weddings held on this ship and special occasions as well. So it's quite interesting. Lots of fun here. Just going for a little stroll here. If you look above, that is that glass dome you saw from the roadway, the parking lot where I was showing you. So here's another view. Let's take a little look over here. Lots of fun. This is a great place to come and spend the day or a few hours. Let's continue. Here we have a nice little bridge that goes across the lake. This is a fairly new attraction, I think, these swan boats. I don't remember seeing them last time I was here. Off in the distance, you can see the ship. Get a better view. Here is the World Water Park, and it is the largest indoor water park in the Americas. I've spent time there swimming. They have a wave pool here which creates artificial waves as well. And over there, as you can see, are a lot of slides. Some of those slides are pretty fast. A lot of fun. If you can see over there, they have a thing called the zip line. So that is something they have here. They used to have bungee jumping here. That was like a 13-story bungee jump. And here are all the structures. It's been years since I've been there. I was in my 20s last time I went on those slides. They have the Europa Boulevard here. That's a great place to go. Let's take a look. Let's keep going. Now I have to be careful because of all the music playing here. I don't want to get a copyright strike. So I'll have to try to talk over it. They even have Tiffany's here. Can you imagine that? Getting sophisticated. Wow, look at that. Cool. Tiffany and Company. They've got Tiffany's. They've got Coach up here. They sell high-end handbags and the like. By the way, did you know that West Edmonton Mall hosted American Idol auditions in 2008? But you didn't know that, or maybe you did. This mall is getting more and more luxurious as the years go by. You got Michael Kors over there. All kinds of nice handbags and accessories. Very nice. You want to buy a Rolex? Gemoro is great for Rolex watches and other high-end specialties. And then you've got Louis Vuitton over there. So yeah, lots and lots of quality in this mall. Look at that. Harry Rosen. You know, it's been a while since I actually took the time to look and appreciate what we got here. Down there you got Gucci. Nice. And then over there you got Canada Goose. They've got some high-end winter coats and so forth. Then you've got Old Navy over there. And like I say, Rolex. I've always wanted a Rolex. Actually, at one time, I came close to buying one in 1985. It was only $4,200 back then. Now the same watch, I think it was a Submariner, is probably $20,000 or more. Here's a fun store, Psycho Bunny. I never heard of it before, but it looks kind of fun. It's cool stuff. And look what I found. You always have to have a Tim Hortons. Gotta have a Tim Hortons everywhere you go. Look at down here. Now what this is quite interesting. This is the ice arena, which obviously there's no ice in it right now. But it's actually a regulation size hockey rink. And there's figure skating here, as you can see by the statue down there. So yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't realize. I don't know what's going on here. Some kind of a convention or something going on. But yeah, it's quite often they have their skating down here. I've skated down here before. My wife and I were here many years ago when we were quite young. First got married. Of course, neither one of us was very good at stopping, and my poor wife slammed into the, oh, actually maybe it was me, slammed into the boards there when we couldn't stop, so, yeah. And then, of course, over there you got Starbucks. You gotta have a Starbucks, too. And here we have Evelyn Charles. So the ladies have a spa, salon, spa, and beauty. Always something different to look at here. Now we're gonna go for a little stroll. Here's another area. We're headed into another phase. I believe there's 4 phases. For those of you who saw some of my other videos, I did some modeling back in 1984. At that time, there was only phase 1. Now, it has grown and changed and evolved a lot over the years. Let's talk about a few more fun facts about West Edmonton Mall. When we were over at that lake where the ship is parked there, or docked, the Santa Maria. It's one thing that was quite interesting. It's kind of silly, but a lot of drunk people have jumped into the lake from the 2nd floor railing after visiting nearby nightclubs. And on December 23rd, 2000, one of them died doing this. So it's not something that you should be doing, but I've seen it a few times and it's made the news also. Also, we're going to take a little walk, a little stroll here in a bit. But the mall has has its own Chinatown and New Orleans themed strip of restaurants and bars called Bourbon Street, and it's been now rebranded. And then the European themed Europa Boulevard. So we're going to head over there momentarily as well. I want to catch a bunch of this for you folks who are living in other countries who have maybe never heard of West Edmonton Mall, or have heard of it, but Hugo Boss is also here, as well as so many other shops and services. Harry Rosen over there. Second Cup over there. And of course, the Apple Store. You gotta have an Apple Store. And here's a great statue giving homage to the oil industry here in Alberta. I've actually worked on an oil rig one time as well, back in 2000, and I did not enjoy that at all. Down there we have the food court. There's a lot of good stuff over there. Here is the famous whale sculpture. It was actually moved from one phase a few years ago and relocated here to this phase. So it's been here for probably 20 years or more. It's a staple of West Edmonton Mall. There's been so many attractions here that have come and gone. Now we're getting into a quieter part of the mall, but I just wanted to show you this TD Bank location is probably the best TD Bank location if you want to get foreign currency. If I need to get Swiss francs or Bulgarian currency or Georgian currency, or any other currencies that maybe are a little bit less used here. Any bank you can pick up Mexican pesos or euros or US dollars, but there's only a few places other than those foreign currency exchange places that you can get unusual foreign currency. So I always come here if I need something special. If you need a good haircut, they have a barber shop right here. Barber shop, Park Lane Tailors. You know, you could actually work and live in this mall. You could live in the hotel and work here and never have to leave. You could even vacation here at the World Water Park. For any of you cowboys or cowgirls out there, here's Lamley's Western Wear. They have a lot of good quality Western wear, from boots to hats and everything in between. Want a good belt buckle? Come here. I've purchased a nice cowboy hat from here once, many years ago. We have a really good rodeo here, the Canadian Finals Rodeo. Good stuff. Can't go wrong. Here's Michael Hill, great jewelry store. There are actually several jewelry stores here in the mall. So now we are entering the famous Galaxyland, formerly Fantasyland. Cool. Let's go for a walk. This is where the famous Mindbender roller coaster used to be. But it's changed a lot over the years as well. This I've been on many times back in the 80s. Gee, I remember getting on here in 1985. It was a blast. Now we have a train going by. So if you have families, come to Edmonton and come visit West Edmonton Mall. Bring your children. A lot of fun for the young, for families. Okay, so there is the ride going. And like I said, I was on there many times back in the early or mid 80s. Brings back memories. You can come here anytime. Open all year round. Cool. So there's still a lot of construction going on here because the Mindbender roller coaster closed down in 2023. It was the world's only indoor roller coaster, which was the tallest roller coaster, and the only one that had a triple loop. And as you may know, there was in June of 1986, 3 people were killed and one was severely injured that had life-altering injuries to his legs when the last car broke loose and crashed into a concrete pillar. So unfortunately, the Mindbender roller coaster is no more. Then we have other attractions now. But this was at one time, but maybe I'm being nostalgic. But I was gonna say this was at one time a very special place. But I think it's still special. I think a lot of people who come here who don't know the past, this is this is their experience. So we can't go back in time. We can only remember. And it's still good. It's still good for many people. It's still fun. Up there is that glass dome. For some reason that reminds me, I was just looking at a video about airships from the 1930s, and I remember seeing a hangar that had a big glass dome like that. So it kind of reminds me of that all of a sudden. It says right there, Galaxyland, world's largest indoor amusement park. Try your luck at different games, Monopoly, and all kinds of games. Operation. Sorry was a great game. I remember playing Sorry as a board game. That was fun. Makes you wish you were a kid again, with no worries. So what are you thinking so far? It's quite the mall, eh? Let me know in the comments if you have ever been here, or if you've been to the Mall of America in Minnesota. It must be a fun place to go as well. Spend the day. Now I think we're going to try and find the Bourbon Street. We'll see if we can find that. I've been there enough times, I should know where it is. So apparently this is the first location in Canada that Victoria's Secret opened its doors. Who would have thought? So this is Bourbon Street, which has been rebranded. This is the new name for it now. And it has changed a lot over the years. But down there you can see there's Moxie's, Boston Pizza. There's a few different Asian restaurants. We'll go down there and take a look as well. But it has changed dramatically over the years. And I'll get into that here right away. So here you've got Japanese Village, my Vietnamese Fusion. Of course you got, like I said, you got Moxie's Grill. And you got the taco shop. Sorry, buddy. So you got a lot of different businesses here. And then you got the comic strip. The comic strip. So, just a little bit of history here about Bourbon Street. Many years ago, when they first opened up, they had these statues that were representative of New Orleans at the time. They had statues. So they had statues of police officers. And the police officers were arresting the ladies of the night, if you know what I mean. So it showed the scantily clad ladies, and they were in their short skirts and high heels, and it was kind of cute. But because of political correctness, wokeism, and all that stuff, they removed all those things that were maybe highly suggestive, and everything changed. So now Bourbon Street, in my opinion, and the opinion of others, is that it has kind of become whitewashed in a way, which is okay, because you don't want to promote the seedy side of life, but you still, it was a fun time. It was the 80s. So a lot of things that you got away with in the 80s, you certainly can't get away with now. So this is actually a really good little restaurant. Hand-pulled noodles. My wife and I, my son and others, daughter-in-law, we've been here a few times. Great food. Who remembers the old cassettes, the old days? Here's a great little pub, Five and Dive. And then of course you've got Hudson's. It's a great pub. And you got the old spaghetti factory. My wife and I have been there many times. Not necessarily at this location though, but at another one downtown on the boardwalk. And of course you've got Earl's. You see, they have a shooting range here as well, where you can shoot all kinds of handguns and rifles. So I've been there before as well. That was a lot of fun. Now we are heading back out of the mall, heading back to the hotel. Here's the lounge. I forgot to mention that this mall has its own Christian chapel as well, where you can do worship services. There we go. Leaving the way we came in. Well, I think I will wrap up this video now, since it's probably a lot longer than I intended. And I hope that you enjoy this kind of content. I know I had a few viewers that requested me cover West Edmonton Mall. So, as you can see behind me there, The restaurants are pretty busy. The mall is pretty busy. So I encourage you, come to Edmonton. Come visit West Edmonton Mall. It's a great way to spend the day, spend lots of money, support our economy. And if you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers. Oh, one other thing I wanted to touch on quickly before I end this video is, as you can see, I'm walking around the mall with lots of people, thousands of people. People look at me, but nobody cares. So if you are looking to start your own YouTube channel and you're a little bit hesitant to talk on camera, or you're a little bit hesitant to talk in front of people, don't be concerned. As you can see, people are all over the place. Some look at me, some keep walking. Nobody's commented because nobody cares. So start your YouTube channel, just talk, just start putting out content, and we will follow. Once again, have a great day and a great weekend.